What's going on, people? This is Shok, and hopefully I'm not too late doing this video, but wanted to talk about my thoughts on the Switch OLED. Before I get into it, by the time this video is up, I will be live over at my Twitch, twitch.tv/Shokio. That is where I'm at these days, guys. I'm more of a streamer than a YouTuber these days, obviously. So make sure you guys follow me over there, check out my streams, and again, I will be live when this video is up. And hopefully I'm not too late talking about the Switch OLED. This is still within the week at least. And I'm gonna keep it a buck 50 with you guys. My take and my view on the Switch OLED radically changed within the last couple of days, and I'm kind of glad I waited to do a video on it rather than give my initial reaction. Because at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty salty. I was pretty upset. I was like, oh my god, this is a waste of time. Nintendoing again. Yada yada. But I had a couple of days to sit on the information and think about it, and now I'm like, I'm actually really glad it's not the Switch Pro. Before I explain why I'm glad it's not the Switch Pro, I want to talk about the rumors because I saw a lot of people talking about, oh, you guys are only disappointed because the rumors and you believe them. That's why you don't believe rumors, yada yada, stuff like that. Guys, trust me, you guys know I've been at YouTube since like 2007. You know what I mean? There's very few people on this site who are well brushed up on Nintendo related rumors than me, considering how long I've been following Nintendo doing Nintendo content online. You know what I mean? So don't get me wrong, I get it. But when you have sites like Forbes and Washington Post talking about technology rumors and leaks and stuff like that stuff is going to be legitimate. You see what I mean? So in saying that, you might be saying, well, if that information is real, how come the Switch OLED is not the Switch Pro? Here's the thing. I feel like the information they have was correct. It is correct. I think they misinterpreted it. I believe the information they have is actually regarding the next system, which is going to still be a part of the Switch family rather than a Pro slash upgrade. So instead of a new 3DS to 3DS type thing, it's more so going to be a DS 3DS type thing, or Wii U, right? Continuing that brand, continuing that family name. And Nintendo likes to do this a lot of times whenever their last system was a big hit, right? The GameCube didn't do too hot, the N64 didn't do too hot. So with those next systems, they dropped those names. You see what I mean? But the Wii did amazing, and so then they did the Wii U. The Wii U performed like crap, so they're like, switch, right? Let's say the Wii U sold just as much as the Wii, we would have had a Wii 3, just tentative title type deal. You see what I mean? So I feel like instead of a Switch Pro, something being a simple upgrade to the current Switch, the information they have is not a Pro. It's actually the next generation system from Nintendo that will also just be a part of the Switch family, or rather, I guess a better word would be the Switch branding. You see what I mean? So chill on the rumors. Like, Washington Post has no reason to just come out and be like, yeah, we're just gonna make up some bullcrap about Nintendo working on a new type of Switch or whatever, right? They are, they are. And we actually have some pretty solidified evidence regarding that. We've even had rumors that have said exactly what I explained. They just haven't been as popular because a lot of people are on the pro thing. You know what I mean? But let me get into why I'm excited that the fact that it's not a Pro and the OLED is the OLED. The reason why is because if you think about it, this is 2021 now. The Switch came out in 2017. If they were to do a Pro right now, 4 years into the life cycle, and Nintendo systems usually have a 5 or 6 year life cycle, that would lead me to believe that Nintendo plans on extending the life cycle of the Switch a little longer than they normally would, right? To introduce a brand new revision that is a hardware upgrade the fourth year into their console's lifespan. Now, if it was a handheld system, I could see them doing that. But considering this is the only system that they have, and it has the dual uses of being their console and their handheld, I wouldn't imagine them doing that on the latter end of their fourth year into their system, right? Their system life cycle, and then the fifth year they release a brand new system entirely. I couldn't see Nintendo doing that. So I'm really glad that the OLED isn't actually an upgrade because that means that we're not going to be stuck with the original Switch hardware for as long as we potentially could have if it was the Switch Pro we thought it would be. Now, my thoughts on the OLED itself, I don't really care too much for it. I mean, yes, bigger screen is nice, the audio is nice. They put in a fucking Ethernet port. Welcome to 2001, right? 2001, 2002, Nintendo. Good job. You know, original Xbox did that a decade ago. Good job. You guys are catching up. Uh, but as someone who already has the Ethernet adapter, because we're forced to have that since it originally did not come with one, and as someone who primarily plays the Switch docked, it's not personally appealing to me. I don't really see this product as very appealing at all. I think I can understand why it'd be appealing to someone who is primarily a handheld gamer or for someone who doesn't already own a Switch. If you don't already own a Switch and you live in New York, you do a lot of public transit or something, or you have a lot of downtime away from your house to where you have a lot of time to game portably, I can see how that's very attractive, right? You have this bigger, nicer, crisper screen. You have enhanced audio for playing on the go and stuff like that. But those two factors, which are the biggest selling points of the Switch, do not matter if you are a primarily docked Switch gamer, like I assume most people watching this video are. Apparently, according to surveys, most Switch users actually spend most of their time in handheld mode. So we could be the minority here, but I'm going to assume that if you're the type of gamer who's watching these videos, you're watching gaming discussions, and you're debating stuff on Twitter and stuff, I'm going to assume like most of you guys are like me, where we're mostly playing on our TVs and stuff like that. So 9 out of 10 of the Switch OLED's enhancements don't actually matter to us and are irrelevant. Will I get one? Probably not. Now they said that the dock is compatible with the original model, so maybe I'll buy a dock because that dock looks cleaner for one, but also I want a second dock anyway, so I can move my Switch around without having to unplug the dock and all that. So I might buy a new dock just to have like two docks, and then that one comes with an Ethernet port finally. Nintendo, man. And so I won't have to worry about buying another adapter. But outside of that, I don't see myself buying the Switch OLED because it would really do nothing for me. I don't play my Switch in portable mode that much. The only times I do is if I'm laying down at night and I have a new RPG that came out for me to play. And that's kind of really it. Most of the time I'm playing on my TV because I'm streaming for one, but also it's just better to sit up and play games sometimes. You don't always want to have a screen, above your head type deal and all that. I only do those types of gaming sessions in short bursts and whatnot. But yeah, that's why I'm kind of excited that the Switch OLED is not the Pro that a lot of people were expecting. So I'm no longer salty about it because that just means, hey, we're going to have actual newer hardware sooner rather than later. And that's fine by me because the Switch is outdated, guys. And I'm not saying that just because we're in 2021. Remember, when it came out in 2017, the Tegra X1 processor that is in the Switch and running the Switch was already outdated. And on top of that, Nintendo downclocked the speeds. So it's not even running at full capacity as it possibly could. I think it could run at, 1.8? Yeah, 1.8, and Nintendo has it clocked down to like nearly 1 gigahertz or something like that. It's pretty drastic, but I don't want to get into all like the tech talk and all that because that's irrelevant and besides the point. But yeah, that's why I'm personally good with this. Just simply being a revision, more of a 3DS XL situation, rather than having just the next, rather than having a new Nintendo 3DS type of revision. You see what I mean? Because those always imply that okay, they might want to drag the system out a little longer than they otherwise would. And I do not want the current Switch dragged out any longer. I like this system simply because I could play, my games anywhere, anytime. The handheld factor is convenient. I like how packing my Switch up if I'm going over a friend's place or vacation, I like how convenient the size factor is. But God, that hardware is so subpar, and Nintendo can't even get their own games working properly on it. They can't get their own games doing 1080p, 60 frames per second. And when the first party company is having performance issues with their own games on their own hardware, that is just irrefutable, factual, undeniable evidence that this system needs to go, and we need a replacement ASAP. You know what I mean? But that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later. Peace.